And welcome to the PPMA's morning mindfulness session. I'm Leatham Green. I'm the Executive Director of PPMA and also the Chief Executive of the Mindful HR Centre. And each morning we've been broadcasting a mindfulness session primarily to our PPMA members, but thanks to the support of Oracle, we were able to open up the opportunity to anyone who wanted to join and take this chance to access and explore what mindfulness is all about. And each day we do a different mindfulness practice. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been inviting a special guest to join me and demonstrate there are different aspects and styles and approaches that you can take to your mindfulness practice. And today I'm thrilled to be able to introduce Kish Modasia, who's the founder of Lead Your Life. And Kish was introduced to me by the amazing Julie Biggs, our regional chair at the PPMA for the Southwest. And so thanks to Julie, I've now made this beautiful new connection with Kish. And I'm really excited to see what Kish has in store for us today in terms of just showing a different approach, style, and access into the world of mindfulness. So with that, I'm going to hand over to Kish, and I shall join you later to sign off from today's session. So many thanks, everybody, and over to you, Kish.
Thank you, Leatham. Thank you very much. And yes, a very special mention to Julie, because she's the one who connected us and is a wonderful connection that we have in common. So welcome, everybody, and it's lovely to be here with you all. As Leatham said, my name is Kish Modasia, and I've kind of come to mindfulness from a practice of my own and putting various things together. My first question to you all is, just as we're kind of starting the session, just take a moment to gauge how you're feeling at the moment. How relaxed are you feeling at the moment on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being not relaxed at all, a bit anxious, and there is no right or wrong. It is just what it is. And a 10 being really relaxed and all okay. So just take a moment to feel into yourself and make a note of that, either mentally, write it down, whatever works for you. Thank you. And once we've got that number, the other thing I'm going to introduce you to is that there's a bell that will be going. So the bell will kind of indicate a start of a session. In between the session, it'll go off. And when the bell goes off, I'll just talk you through just again connecting within yourself, and then it'll end the session. So that'll happen now. So we use that bell to just focus on the breath as it is. You could close your eyes, you can keep your eyes open, it doesn't really matter. It's just about becoming aware of the breath as it is. No need to change anything. And as you're becoming aware of the breath, just gently let go any thoughts, any rushing, anything that you've had to do in order to be here now this morning. Gently letting it go. It's almost as though you're just kind of releasing it over there. Getting out of your head, coming back to your body by just focusing on the breath. The breath is an anchor. It's with us 24/7, and we can use it at any time, anywhere, to just become present, to be in the moment, and to bring in some calm. So just come back into the space. And I just want to share with you a little bit about what my take on mindfulness is. I share mindfulness as an art, an awareness of what you hold, a realization of what that holding is doing to you. So what happens is we're currently, or we have been in a VUCA world for a long time. VUCA being V for volatile, U for uncertain, C for complex, and A for ambiguous. It's a phrase that was coined by, I can't remember exactly, I think it was either the US Navy or one of the kind of organizations like that. And VUCA is something that happens, it's been happening through the war. I think when we had 9/11, we have had Brexit, and now we're in the middle of COVID. And at times of VUCA, we're feeling anxious. We don't know what's going to happen. And it's like, so what do we do? What is the thing we can manage? And we go back to that 80-20. What is within my sphere of influence and what isn't? And the stuff that isn't, we need to let go, but it's not always that easy. So going back to the art, the awareness of what you hold, the realization of what that is doing to you. So that holding can actually settle itself within our being as anxiety, as stress. And then what we have is the T is for the tools that help us to bring the calm, to bring the focus, and to teach us that we are actually capable of that. And I compare our emotional bank balance like our monetary bank balance. So we go to work in order to pay the bills, the mortgage, the food, the car, all of those things that we take every day. And in the same way, we make sure that we top up our bank balance regularly. So in the same way, I'd love you to think about your emotional bank balance and how regularly do you top that up? And how do you top that up? So what I say is try and take a minute at a time. Top up the emotional bank balance by a minute, a minute, a minute. Aim to get in 5 minutes a day. And then maybe you'll find that you actually would like to top it up even more. And when that emotional bank balance is topped up, we're in a much more stable position to manage any challenges that hit us. And hey, challenges are part of our life all the time. So it's really important that we top up that emotional bank balance and do that in a very simple way. So the breath is the main tool. It's our life force. Without our breath, we wouldn't be here, we'd be somewhere else. And it's with us 24/7. So what I'm going to do now is just show you some simple examples of using the breath wherever you are. A bit like we did during the bell. So that's the kind of grounding one that I use. So again, let's just focus on the breath as it is. No need to change anything. Just simply noticing the breath. Letting any thoughts just float away again like clouds by coming back to that breath, the life force. And mindfulness is about being in the present moment, accepting what is without judgment. As I said earlier, there is no right or wrong. It could be that when you're focusing on that breath, you may be feeling a little anxious, and that's okay. Or you could be feeling calmer, and that's great too. So again, just focus on the breath as it is. We'll do that for a few more breaths. Just simply becoming aware of the breath. Maybe noticing the chest going up and down. Really focusing on that breath. And then just gently come back. Take a moment to just notice how you're feeling. And then we're going to move on to some deep breathing. So if you could just, if you're standing, feel your feet on the ground. If you're sitting, feel your feet on the ground. Anytime and anywhere, a good way to feel grounded is to just imagine that your feet are being pulled in down into Mother Earth. A bit like a tree, and the roots are going all the way down. And just imagine that happening and feel that grounding. And then again, we just become aware of the breath as it is. No need to change anything, just simply become aware of the breath. And then we're going to do some nice deep breathing, and I will do some counting. So let's take a nice deep breath in, right down to the belly. And hold it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let it go just slowly, 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 slowly. As slow as you can. And then take another nice deep breath in again. Down into the belly, hold it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just let it go slowly, 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 slowly. And then one more deep breath in, all the way into the belly. Hold it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let it go gently, 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 gently. And then just take a moment to notice how you're feeling. And gauge that. Is it any better? Is it the same? Could be worse. But just accepting what is. It's all information for us to bring change. And then once again, coming back to that conscious breath. The breath as it is. No need to change anything. Just noticing the breath. And now we'll do some more deep breathing. We'll take the breath completely in as we did before and hold it. And then we will really make a sigh as we exhale that. So again, just really feel your feet on the ground, whether you're standing or you're sitting, or it may be that you're lying down, whatever it is that you're doing. If you're lying down, then just imagine that your body is being really pulled down to Mother Earth. So we'll just start again with that conscious breathing, just really focusing on the breath as it is. The breath as it is forms our baseline, actually. And then take a nice deep breath in. And hold it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let it go. Really emptying that tummy. And then taking another nice deep breath in. And holding it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And letting it go. And you may want to swivel your shoulders a little bit. Roll them as well. Feeling that release. Let's take another deep breath in. In we go. And hold it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And really make that noise. And again, just rolling those shoulders back and forward. And back and forward. Let's do that one more time. A nice deep breath in. Hold it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just settle back in your chair or in your standing position or lying position. Getting back to that conscious breathing and just noticing how you're feeling. Again, making a little mental note to that number that you put at the start. Noting whether it's got any better. Is it the same? Or is it any worse? And I'd like you to just take a moment to think about where and how you would be able to use these breathing exercises that I've just shared with you. How would you be able to top up that emotional bank balance daily with your 5 a day? Stopping for a minute at a time. The session was called Courage to Stop. So using the sound of the bell to just tap into ourselves. To stop and breathe and be. And once again, just really noticing how you're feeling and what's going on for you. Also taking time to acknowledge yourself for making time to be on this session today, for giving yourself the time, giving your most important asset, time and space to be, to find some calm amidst the chaos. Really acknowledging yourself for doing this. Really valuing yourself. After all, you are your most important asset, you know. You're the director, producer, and main actor in your role of life. And so from the breathing and thinking about topping the emotional bank balance, I'd just like to take a moment to touch on gratitude. My gratitude is for all of you who've come on the call and anyone who'll be listening to this. So thank you. And we in the Western world are what I term emotionally poor and materially rich in comparison to a lot of other people in the world. And so it's about taking a moment to just think about things that we are grateful for. If you have pen and paper handy, then make a note of the things you're grateful for. And if not, let's just think about things we're grateful for. And we can start with simple things like running water and electricity. And as you're thinking about that, what else comes to mind? And the gratitude exercise can really be made even more kind of honed in, I guess. It could be that on a day you decide, today I'm going to be grateful about all the different parts of my body. Because we know you've only got to have a cut on the thumb or a broken bone to know the value of that part of your body. So even now, for example, if we just sat and thought about the different parts of the body and how grateful we are to them. The idea around gratitude is that the more we focus on the things that we're grateful for, the more our thinking changes towards more positivity. At the moment, when we're in such uncertain times, it can become very challenging to think about what we're grateful for. And even when we were in what we thought was a normal life, fast-paced, no time for each other, we really didn't stop and think about being grateful. I think that COVID has actually made us far more grateful. It's made us more grateful for our daily exercise, for the loved ones that we're not able to hug and get to at the moment, for the simplicity of being able to just walk into the supermarket and pick up what we want, as opposed to queuing or trying to get online slots. So there is a lot to be grateful for. And it could be that you start a gratitude diary and take a moment to just think about, what things am I grateful for today? And write down those 2 or 3 things. Make it 3, make it 5. And that's another minute done on your emotional bank balance. And the other thing that you need to think about as well is, in terms of gratitude, is what are other people grateful to you for? Back to acknowledging and applauding the wonder of who you are. How does that feel? Thinking about what other people are grateful to you for. Just sit with that for a while and notice what's coming up. Is it easy to do? Writing down 10 things that other people are grateful to you for? Or thinking about 10 things? Or is that voice in the head saying, oh, you're going to be showing off? And it's not about showing off. It's about really having integrity and valuing yourself. And knowing that you are an important person in so many people's lives. At work, outside work, in all aspects of your life. And that touches on the importance of self-care. Because as we know, we cannot pour from an empty cup. The airlines tell us to put our own oxygen mask on before we actually help anybody else. So during this time, what are you doing around looking after yourself? Around valuing yourself? Because all of this is crucial as part of our emotional well-being. Our well-being needs to be on 4 fronts, really. The physical, emotional, spiritual, and the mental aspect as well. So that's the 4 fronts. And if we top up our emotional bank balance, we're managing to. Spirituality is just a term that I use. You may be religious, you may not. It doesn't matter. It's just about valuing yourself and connecting, whether it's to nature or whatever. So by topping up that emotional bank balance, we're bringing in the exercise, which a lot of us are doing much more of. We're eating well. So it's about bringing all of that together and really making time to look after who we are, what we are. Because if we take care of ourselves, we will be better for those around us. And so that is what my take and what my message around mindfulness is about. Thank you for joining me, and namaste.
Oh, that was a wonderful session, Kish. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
It was interesting that you were talking about the gratitude journal, and here's mine, which I've been using for a number of years now, and it's such a powerful exercise, and so yes, so humbling, and it's just a really great way to either start your day for me or end it just by reflecting, as you say, for a couple of minutes, a minute, just making a note of it, and then looking back, and it's a very powerful exercise, as was your session. I've learned a huge amount today, and I wish everybody well out there. I hope you'll be able to tune in tomorrow. If not, our sessions are recorded and available on the PPMA website, so please feel free to download or pass on to your friends and family and loved ones. Next Wednesday, I'm going to be joined by the amazing John Horton, and John is a practitioner of sound and music, and he's going to be introducing us to the concept of chanting and how chanting can be a very powerful route into mindful practice. So I hope you can join us for that special edition. And in the meantime, I just wish you all well, sending love, and enjoy whatever you have planned for the rest of your day. And I hope to see you again in a future session. So thank you, and thanks very much, and sending love to Kish for a brilliant morning. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.